certainly the internet and all the technology supporting it. I mean, it's this amazing tool that we have to reach people all over the globe. I mean, it's kind of staggering, and I think at least in a couple of points in the book, you referred to us as being gods because we sort of almost have this godlike power now to like reach out and communicate with anyone across the globe. But when we're talking about like the environmental impact that these technologies have, there's this like paradox that if you're trying to say something about it and you're trying to critique it, let's say, you're also using that technology to spread your message. And this comes up a lot when people will, with environmental activists and other types of activists, and they show up at the protest or rally and they've all got iPhones, like. So you wrote something that I thought was really just nailed it. You wrote, you don't realize that by making digital the instrument of your emancipation, you're rushing into the arms of your new master. So how do you resolve this paradox, I guess, that we have these amazing tools of communication, but by using them, we're also kind of playing into that game?
When I wrote that, I was specifically targeting the Greta generation, the youth.
Greta Thunberg, the climate activist. Yeah.
Greta Thunberg. I like Greta Thunberg, by the way, but I just wanted to raise a contradiction here. This new generation, very much aware of plastic pollution, that eating too much meat is bad for the climate, aware that taking planes is bad for the climate, but at the same time, spearheading the new ways of using these technologies to such an extent where it may become just incompatible with the fight against climate change. And I've been making a parallel between the 1968 generation, our parents going into the streets with the socialist dreams, but who ended up working in oil companies at a very high level. So the discrepancy between the dreams of your youth and what you've made of these dreams whenever you became older. And I'm asking the same question to the Greta Thunberg generation. You're spearheading climate movements, and that's wonderful. But you're also opening a new chapter of human impacts on the earth, and you're spearheading it. And if you are going too much into that direction, you put actually exactly your struggle at jeopardy. Now, what I'm saying, and I want to be very precise, Eric, I'm living with my time. I need internet to speak with you.
Yeah.
I need internet to criticize internet. Such a paradox. I have this very well understanding that if I had to speak with you by coming to the United States and taking a plane, rather than speaking online, my CO2 impact would be much worse. And in that way, internet is a good thing for the environment. I mean, it may prevent actions in the real world to happen, and it might be good for mitigating my CO2 impact. I also understand that we need internet for making good actions, and going on strike on a Friday when you're of the generation of Greta Thunberg for protesting against political inactions against climate change, is a good thing. So it brings a question, which is, how do you use internet? And this question is not being asked. Now we have the next iPhone coming, and now we have ChatGPT coming, and we have just new technologies, and we are so fascinated by these technologies. And the question is just, what new technology will I use? What new software? Which new hardware? But the question is, for what freaking purpose? And this question is not being asked. And the question is should be a cost-benefit analysis between what it costs, including for the environment, but also for your mental health, or for democracy in the United States to use too much social media, and what benefit you get out of it. But this question isn't being asked, Eric, because what people in the industry want me to be is a consumer.
Right.
Is not a citizen. And as long as I remain a consumer with the devices, I will just look for my immediate benefit. If I'm being asked to act as a citizen, I will make the question more complicated. I will bring in the debate more angles. I will think of internet in a social way, in a political way, in an economic way, in a mental health way. But once again, we need to act as citizens, and we're not doing this. We're not doing this cost-benefit analysis. And in my view, there are two reasons for this. First, because we believe internet has no impact on the planet, zero impact. So why should I prevent myself from watching the next videos of cats as it has no impact?
Mm-hmm.
It has an impact,
Mm-hmm.
but because I have this belief that it doesn't, why should I prevent myself? And the second thing is we believe it's free for literally free. Like, I don't have to pay anything for that. And this is false.
Yeah.
And someone has said, as you know, if it's free, it's because you're the product. It's not free.
That's right.
It's free because you are giving your data. You're giving pieces of yourself, piece of you, who you are, in exchange for a service on the web, which is given for free in exchange for the data, and actually they're making money out of the data.
Yeah.
And because you believe that it's not impactful at all, and because it's free, because it is a business model of Google today and of Facebook, to just name a few, well, basically we just keep using more and more and more, like in an open bar. You pay for entering, and then you can do whatever you want for the rest of the night. Believe me, you end up just getting completely drunk. And this is exactly the same. We're drunk of these services because we don't understand that it's not free and it's not impact free on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you are using something like that where it's a free service and you can't figure out how are they making money off of this, it's because they're making money off of you. You are, like you said, you're the product. That's how they're making money. They're not making money out because you're not paying for it. Somebody's paying for it. Somebody's got to pay those engineers salaries to create this, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
But I think,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think a lot of people are aware of that now. Our people of a certain, age, we've sort of been the guinea pigs for the last 10 or 15 years of this, especially of social media. And I think people younger too are becoming more aware of this as they come into it, that nothing's private, that they don't have their privacy. But I think what your book does so well is it elucidates all the other material costs of using those technologies that I don't think people are aware of. And as I was going to add one more thing. It's just, as I was preparing to talk to you, because if you looked around me, you'd see I was surrounded by technology right now. Lights, cameras, computers, but I just was aware of it. I became more aware of it. And I was thinking about all the ways that I was connecting with the cloud. All the Google. I love Google. I run so much of my life with Google, and I was like, wow, I'm thinking now about where this information is going, how it's being stored. So I think your book's fantastic in that regard.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. That's an angle that we haven't thought about until now. That's kind of a new angle.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so fascinated by this story, by this investigation, because it took me all around the world to talk about something which I wasn't aware myself of, and I knew no one would be aware of. And I think what we can bring with a book is something new to the public, something which was unsaid.